Hey everyone, in this video I will show you how to make this pixel sorting effect. So if I press the E key, I can transition to a different map, and if I press E again, I can go back like this. And with this effect you can control a lot of parameters. I can change the color, and also I can exclude the character from the effect like this. I can also add a grid map to the world. So there is a floor like grid underneath the character like this. We can also add different texture effects like this one. So if I choose a different texture like this one, the effect will be different. I can also have a sidewise effect like this one. Also, you don't really have to transition to a different map. So here I can do that with the same map like this one. There is also a desaturation effect like this. Or you can have a outline effect after all the color is stripped from the world like this. So this is what we are going to be creating today. And if you want to download the entire project file, including the textures I used, you can support me on my Patreon. And for $5 you can download this, and you can also download almost all my previous tutorials from there. And if you are already supporting me on my Patreon, thank you very much for keeping this channel alive. So to create this effect, first we need to create a post-process material. So for that, right click, then material, and I will call this m underscore pixel sort. Then open it up. Then change the material domain to post process. Then change the blendable location to before tone mapping. Otherwise our screen will jitter because of anti-aliasing. Now right click and type in scene texture. Then change this to post process input 0. Then add a component mask, and also tick the blue channel. We need all the three channels. Then connect this to the MSC color. Then get a texture coordinate by pressing and holding U and clicking. Then we can break this coordinate into a float component 2. Then here we can make a float 2. So R will be the right and left direction, and the G will be the up and down direction of our screen. So now we can connect the X here, and for G we can get an add by pressing and holding A and clicking, and connecting this to the Y. Now we can press and hold S and click to get this scalar parameter, and we can just get an add node. Then connect this here and click apply. Then we can create an instance. Then we can go to the post-process volume. You can also get it from here like this, and we can go to the post-process material, and we can add this asset into it. And now we can open up our instance, and now if I increase the add, you can see that we are getting a pixel sort kind of effect like this. So this is kind of similar to what we want, but we don't really want it to happen everywhere. So I will set this back, and I will go back into the material. Now right click and I will dither temporal A and open this up. This one has a texture we need. We can just copy that texture and paste it here, and we can just delete this. And now we can use the same texture coordinate, and we can get a multiply and connect this here and connect this to the UV, and get a 2 vector by pressing and holding 2 and clicking. And here set the R value to like 50 and the B value to like 0.01. Now we can connect this to the add and click apply. So now it kind of looks like this. So now we will get a linear gradient, and we will get an add node and connect this here, and here we will get a scalar parameter, and we will call this alpha. and we will multiply this by 2 and subtract this by 1, so that when this alpha is 0 we will get a value of -1, and when the alpha is 1 we will get a value of 1. So now we can connect this to the add here, and now we can add this to this and add it like this, and we can get another multiply, and we can connect this here, and we can connect this here, and we can connect from the subtract here and click apply. So if I change this to 1 it will be like this, and 0 it will be like this. So you can see that I can move the pixel around and get an effect like this. So here instead of this multiply we will just connect this to the add here, and here we will right click and type in lerp 3 color, and we will connect this here and connect this to the MC color, and we will get a 0 value, a constant of 0, by pressing and holding 1 and clicking, and connect this here and here. And now we can just connect this to the alpha here and click apply, and if I change this to 0 and 1 we can see how it is moving. And now we can get an multiply here and connect this here and connect this here and connect this to the add. So here we need to saturate this value so it won't go to -1 and above 1. So now if we connect this here, and we can clamp this alpha between 0 and 1. So now if I move the slider like this we can get an effect like this. And if we want the opposite effect we can just 1 minus this gradient, so that invert the gradient. So now we will get 1 from top like this. So if I pull back you can see the effect like this. So at 1 we get a black color, and we can get an effect like this. And here we can pan the noise around, so we get some movement. So we can pan it in the X direction like this. So we get an effect like this. Now here, because we have a 3 lerp, we can move it here, and now we can get a blend lighten and connect this here and connect this to the B, and get a vector parameter by pressing and holding V and clicking, and we can call this color, and we can connect this here, and we can change this to like a cyan color like this and click apply. And now if I move the color you can see that it is getting a cyan color like this. So it gets a bit more brighter and then fade into black. So now here if we use some kind of texture, like, so if I just use this texture, you can use any kind of texture you want by the way, and click apply. If I move this you can see I'm getting an effect like this one. Now here for the C we can just duplicate this and get a desaturate node and connect that to the C here and click apply. And now if I move this you can see that we are getting a desaturated world after the effect. And here if I change this texture to the U gradient we will get a sidewise effect like this one. We can also change the color. So whatever you put in the C, you can get after the effect has finished. So now if you want to get the grid, we can get a virtual plane coordinate, and here press and hold 3 and click. So we get this 3 vector. Now we can connect this to the normal axis and change this to B. So we want it to face up, and for the X we can get another one and change this to 1 for R. And for plane center we can get camera position and connect that here, or you can just subtract a height from it. Otherwise you need to bring in the location value using a material parameter collection. Now we can get another scalar and we can call this scale, and we can set this to like 400, and we can connect this to the UV here. And for the texture we can go into the starter content and bring in this hex texture, and then we can connect this to the UV, and we can connect the green channel here and click apply. And now if I just move this, so now you can see that we are getting a grid like this on the floor. So if you want a grid, you can use this. So I will just set that back to 0. So now we will get a black color. So if you want to get another color, you can just connect the color to C, or you can create another vector parameter and connect that to C and change the color like this. Now to exclude some actors from the effect, so in order to do that, we can get a layer and connect this to B and connect this to the MC color, and we can exclude something from the effect using the custom depth. So if I just bring in a cube here, and now if I add the cube to the custom depth, like render custom depth pass and tick that, and now if I go here and type in scene texture and change this to custom depth, and we need to mask this. We only need the red value, and we can duplicate this and change this to the scene depth, and we can subtract this from this, and we can fill this so the values are integer. If the value is greater than 0, it will be 1, and we can saturate that, so we can clamp the value between 0 and 1. And now if I just connect this to the MC and click apply, you can see that the cube is black, and if I untick this, the cube will be white again. So we can use this to mask out the cube. So here with the layer, if the value of alpha is 0, we will get the input A as output, and if the value of alpha is 1, then we get the input B as output. So we can just connect this to the alpha and connect this here and connect this to the B, and here we can just bring it here and bring this one to A and click apply. And now if I move the alpha and add this to the custom render pass, you can see that it is not affected by it. So I have also added my character to custom depth like this. So if I set this value to 1 and press play, my character will be visible. Now we will create the rotating effect. For that we can just get the linear gradient, and we can get a multiply, and we can change this value to like 2. Then we can get a sine node, then we can get a seal node, so we get these stripes like this. Then we can saturate that, then we can connect this to the 1 minus, and here we can get a custom rotator, and we can connect this to the UV channel, and we can connect the alpha to the rotation angle and click apply. And now if I increase the alpha like this, so I think I made a mistake. I will connect this to the vertical gradient. So now if I increase it, so here just delete the layer and connect this to the B here and click apply. So that didn't change much. Yeah, so we need to add a UV coordinate here like this and click apply. So now if I move this, you can see that it is rotating like this. And now here we can do one more thing. So we can go back to the material and get a radial gradient. So it will create a radial gradient like a circle or a disc. And here we can connect this to the radius. And we can multiply this one by this one and connect this to the 1 minus. And for density, we can get a constant and give a value of 100 and connect this to the density and click apply. So now if I move this, you can see that it is rotating and giving us an effect like this one. So now to control this effect using a button press, we can right click and create a material parameter collection, and I will call this PC underscore pixel data. Then open it up, and here I will add a scalar parameter and I will call this alpha, and we can go to the third person character, and here we can right click, then E keyboard. So now we can drag and type in flip flop and create a timeline from it. Then connect this to play from start and connect this to reverse from end, or you can connect this to play and reverse, whichever you like, both will work. Now open this up and change the length to like 2, then add a float track, then change the time to 0 and the value to 0, and shift and click again and change the time to 2 and the value to 1. And we can add an auto curve to it too. And here we can drag from update and type in set scalar parameter value, then select the PC pixel data and connect this here and change this to alpha and click compile, and here go to the material, and here for the alpha we can type in collection parameter and change this to alpha, and then we can press Ctrl and drag this in here and click apply. And now if I press play and press E, I can have the effect playing like this. Or I can just connect like a normal linear gradient to this 1 minus, and here I can add the desaturate here like this and click apply. So I get an effect like this. So now in order to change the map, I will just open a different map. So I will open up the third person map, and before that I will just duplicate this and I will open this up. So I have a map like this. I will just delete all of this, and here I will just open the level blueprint and I will just copy all of this, paste it here, and then I will just disconnect the E, and here we can just connect this to the play, and after finished we can type in open level, and for the level name we can just get the name of this one, and I will just delete all of this so our level looks a bit different, and add that here. And now we can copy this and we can open this level and we can open the level blueprint, and here we can get begin play. So whenever the level loads, it will start playing our timeline. So one more thing we have to do is that we have to add our post-process material to the post-process volume like this one. You can search post here and then add that to the post-process material, and now we can open the other one, and here also we need to add our post-process material like this. And now we can go back to the post-process material and we can connect this back to C and click apply, and here we can press play and we can press the E key So we made one mistake here. We need to reverse it. So we will go back to the second map, and here we will go to the level, and here we need to reverse this from end. So click compile, and we can go back to our original map, and here in the level blueprint we can play from start. And if I press play, and now if I press E, our world changes. So if you want to go back from this level to the other one, we can go to the level blueprint again, and here we can type in begin play, and we can connect this to reverse from end. Now we can copy all of this and open this map. We can go to the blueprint and we can paste it here, and the difference here is that this map should be this one. So I will just remove the 1, and now if I press 1, I can go here, and now if I press play, I get this effect. And if I press E, so now if I press play, and now if I press E, I get this effect. And it kind of does an infinite loop, because here in the first level, if we go to the blueprint, we can see that after it begins play, it will open the second one again. So in order to prevent that, we can just disconnect this, and we can just duplicate that, and we can paste it here and connect this to reverse from end. Now if I press play, I get this effect, and if I press E, I will go to this one, and if I press E again, I will go to the first one. So here I will change this to like black. Now let's see what happens. So we can get an effect like this. So now I will just disconnect the E, and I will show you how to add the outlines. So I will go to the third person character again, and I will connect this back, and if I press play, and now I will just disconnect the event play also, and now if I press play, we will get something like this, and if I press E, it will go back to this. And if we go back to our material, we can connect the grid to C and press apply, and if I press E, we get this grid like this. So if you want to get outlines here, you can create something like this. So there are multiple tutorials I have with this one. So I will just copy this and paste it here. So I will just put it here so you can just recreate this. If you have trouble recreating this, I have different tutorials covering the exact same thing. You can watch that. So here I have this blur sample offset and sample scene depth connected like this using an add and multiply, and a 0 0 here, and power and multiply. And now if I connect this to the C here and click apply and press play, and if I press E key, I have this outline in the world. And if you want to exclude the sky, we can go here and type in scene depth, then get an if node and get a multiply, and connect this one to the multiply, and connect this here, and connect this here, and connect 0 to a greater than 1 and 1 to a less than b. And here for the b, I will add a big value like 10,000 or something like that, and here we need to change this value to like 1. So now if I press play, So now we have outlines only on the mesh on the ground and not on the sky. So I think that's it for today's tutorial. Thanks for watching.